3, 4. Hufflepuff?
No. Hi!
Hi.
It's time for maths, and we are looking today...
It just went very cloudy.
Oh. Do you still see us? Anyway, we don't have professional studio lighting here at Learning Lockdown, we just have the sun. In maths today, we are looking at word problems. Now, we've got an example for you here, so we're going to talk through the example and show you how you can solve it.
Let's read it together. Each car leaving a factory has 4 new tyres. That would make sense. You might want to put old tyres on. 29 transporters leave with 11 cars on each transporter. We'll come there in a second as to what that word means. How many tyres are needed for all the cars? Now, this problem is what we call a 2-step problem. Now, this is because we don't just need to do one calculation to get our final answer. We need to do 2 calculations to get our final answer. But which 2 calculations do we need to do? Well, we're going to read through the question bit by bit and see what we're going to need to do. So let's start with the important information. Each car leaving a factory has 4 new tyres. Well, 4 new tyres is really important. We need to get into our minds right now, every car has 4 tyres. But we're not going to need that information till a little bit later. Although it comes first in this question, it's not needed, that information, until our second problem. Mr. S.
29 car transporters leave with 11 cars on each transporter. Now, you mentioned about transport before. That's basically just like could be a big lorry or it could be a train or something.
You'll have seen them on the motorway.
It doesn't really matter what it is. What's important is that there's 29 of them, and on each one there are then 11 cars.
Right, so let me try and picture this. 29 lorries.
Yeah.
You can see them all. I'm not asking about their tyres. I'm asking about the tyres on the cars. But on each of those 29 lorries, there's 11 cars on that one, 11 cars on that one, 11 cars on that one. And I could do that 29 times because we've got 29 lots of 11.
29 lots of 11. So the important thing with a word problem is identifying what calculation you need to do. So we've got 29 lots of 11. So let's think about our 4 operations we mainly use in maths. We've got addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Which one of those applies to lots of?
It's multiplication. And we've been practicing that this week. So we've got 2-digit multiplied by 2-digit there. 29 multiplied by 11, or 11 multiplied by 29. It's commutative. Now, we could use column multiplication, or we could use the grid method that we showed you yesterday. I'm just going to use the grid method nice and quick. Do not play noughts and crosses with me.
Okay.
So remember here, we break down the numbers into their parts. So 29 is 20 and 9. 11 is 10 and 1. And then like our multiplication grids, where these numbers meet in the grid, that's where our multiples, our answers go. So 10 times 20, we had this one yesterday, is 200. 10 times 9 is 90. 1 times 20 is 20. And 1 times 9 is 9. Then we need to add all these answers together. 200, 90, 20, and 9. If you don't recognise any of these strategies, just go back to yesterday's lesson first, because these skills are needed. We add up our 1s, which gives me 9 1s. We add up our 10s, it gives me 11 10s. So we place the 1 and we carry that 10 into the hundreds, because 10 lots of a 10 is 100. And then we do 2 lots of 100, add that 1 that we've carried is 3. So altogether, 29 transporters and 11 cars in each of them, there are 319 cars.
Now, before we move on to the second step in this problem, some of you may have already looked at the calculation 29 times 11 and realised that 29 times 11 is very close to 29 times 10. So you could do this one mentally if you've spotted that, and you can do an if I know then I know, because I know 29 times 10 must be 290 because we've made it 10 times bigger, and then we've got one lot of 29 to add on, and I can do that in my head. 290 plus 29, add the 10 to get to 300. We've got 19 left, 319. So just strategies you can use in your head if you want to do it that way.
Okay, so either ones of those work, but we know we've got 319 cars. That is not our final answer. Always go back to the question and check you've answered it fully.
Yeah. What was it asking?
It said, how many tyres, there's our next important part of our question, how many tyres are needed for all cars? Well, now we need to go back to that first fact we said was important, that each car has 4 tyres. And we've got 319 cars, and they've all got 4 tyres. So that car, that's got 4 tyres. That car, that's got 4 tyres. That car, that's got 4 tyres. I could do this a lot, but I'd do that 319 times.
So we've got, you just used the word times there. We've got 319 lots of 4, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got 4 tyres 319 times.
Yeah.
So that's 319 multiply times by lots of 4. Now, I don't want to do a large grid method for this one. I'm going to use column multiplication for this one because it's just I want to try a different method.
Fair enough. So now we have a 3-digit by 1-digit multiplication, okay, which is similar to what we did a couple of days ago now. So it's actually a bit easier than the last one. So here we'll start with our ones. We have 9 lots of 4.
36. So we place our 6 in our ones, and that 30 moves into the tens.
Then we have 4 lots of 10.
Which is 40. Add the 3 lots of 10 is 70. Only our 7 goes in because it's in the tens place value column. So it already is 70 there. We don't need to put the 0. That's a placeholder behind the 6.
And finally, 4 lots of 300.
4 lots of 300 is 1,200, or also known as 1,200.
Now how do we put that in there?
We could place the 2 for 1,200. The 200 would go in the hundreds column, and our 1,000...
I was going to say, we haven't got a thousands column there.
Well, we haven't got any digits in the thousands column, but the thousands column would still come to the left of the hundreds, and then 10,000s to the left of that, and the 100,000s, and it would carry on forever. But we just don't have any digits there because we don't have any value in that at the moment. However, now we've done the multiplication, we do have 1,000s to go into that column. So it goes to the left of the hundreds, like this. So there were 319 cars. They all had 4 tyres on them. So altogether, there were 1,276. Let's just double check our word problem one more time. Each car leaving the factory has 4 new tyres. We used that. There were 29 car transporters leaving, and each one had 11 cars on it. We figured out that was 319 cars. How many tyres are needed for all the cars? 319, each with 4 tyres, is 1,276 tyres. Make sure you break apart your word problems and highlight those important facts and make sure you use them at the right time. Don't just see numbers and start doing things with them. Make sure you've got the right operation and that you're doing them in the right order.
Very good.
Off you go.